Welcome to Corporals Corner. Today we're going to practice the bowline, so stick around. A bowline, sometimes referred to as a bowline, is an ancient knot that's used to form a fixed loop at the end of a piece of cordage. Now, one of the main virtues of the bowline is that when subject to a load, the knot itself will tighten, but the loop will not. Now there are several different bowlines, and there's several different ways to tie a bowline. So what I want to do right now is go ahead and review a couple of ways of tying a classic bowline. The first bowline I want to tie is called the classic or traditional bowline, and I'll show you a couple different ways. The first thing you want to do, rotate your cordage over. Just like that. Now take your tail, pass it up through your loop, go around your cordage, and place it back through your small loop. Just like this. Now pinch these two together, grab your end, and pull them tight. Just like that. And your tail is on the inside of your loop. We're still dealing with a classic or traditional bowline. So the second way to tie this is using a marlin spike hitch. So same thing, we're going to go ahead and rotate our cordage over. And we're going to take our loop, place it on top of our cordage, just like this. Now reach inside, pull it through. It creates a pocket, just like that. Now pass your end through that pocket toward yourself. Pinch both these together, just like that. And just like last time, pull it tight. And your tail is on the inside. The next type of bowline I want to talk about is called a cowboy or left-handed bowline. And that's where your tail is on the outside of your loop. So once again, make a fist and just raise your thumb up, just like that. Imagine that's your loop and your tail's on the outside of that loop. So to tie this, we're going to do the exact same thing, except for one step, we're going to reverse it. So taking your cordage, I'm going to go ahead and rotate it over, just like that. Take our tail, just like last time, pass it through our loop. Now this time, we're going to go around this way, and back through our loop. Once we do that, pinch your cordage together, grab your end, pull it tight. And your tail's on the outside. And we're still dealing with our left-handed bowline or our cowboy bowline. So this time we're going to use a marlin spike hitch to assist us. Just like last time, rotate it over, lay it on top of your cordage, pull that pocket right there. This time we're going to go ahead and pass our cordage through the loop this way. Wrap it around, pinch it together, and pull our ends. And there's your bowline with the tail on the outside, making it a cowboy bowline or left-handed bowline. The last bowline I want to go ahead and talk about is a running bowline. Now to tie this, go ahead and pick your left-handed bowline or your cowboy bowline or your traditional or classic bowline. Either one will work. So we'll go ahead and tie a classic bowline. Just like this, lay it on top, get our pocket. Now at this point right here, what you want to do, lay some cordage over the top of it. Just like this. So we still have our pocket. And this big loop is laying on top of our end. Now pass our end through, just like last time. Go around and pinch it together, and then pull it tight. Just like this. We have our traditional or classic bowline with the tail on the inside. If you notice, this is passed through our loop. So now, all we got to do is wrap around a tree branch or a log and pull it tight. Now if you want to use a bowline strictly for the benefit of having a fixed loop at the end of a piece of cordage, like this one right here, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and give you a couple examples of what that could be used for. Now keep in mind, there's probably a million other things you can use for as well. We can use it for our running bowline. Just pass it through. Just like this. Pull it tight. We can go ahead and take our loop and our cordage, pass it inside that loop, and it forms a pocket, just like that. Now go ahead and take your tent stake, place it inside that pocket, and pull it tight. And now you got a quick release for your ridge line. Pull it out. There you go. And the last one I want to talk about is hanking our cordage. So what you want to do is take your hand and your loop, place it inside. I'm going to take it and I'm going to go a figure 8 around the pinky and thumb. Get your last 3 or 4 feet. Go ahead and remove it just like this. Now go ahead and take your cordage and you want to wrap it around. And you want to go ahead and finish it off right here with a clove hitch. We're going to go around here just like this, form our X pattern. We're going to slide it underneath our X. There's our X. Go ahead and pull it tight, just like that. Now you can store your cordage. You can also grab your loop and pull it out, just like that. Let's go ahead and talk about reality for a moment. As we discussed earlier, there's several different ways to tie a bowline, and there's several different types of bowlines. However, with that said, it's my opinion that if you can't tie a bowline around someone or something like a fixed object, or even yourself, then that bowline's not living up to its full potential. Let's go ahead and kick this off with a fixed object. Now this is the exact same method as if a person was standing here. The only difference is you want to tie it underneath their armpits. Okay, so here's our fixed object. We have our short end, we have our long end. What I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to lay my long end over, just like that. I'm going to lay it down and pull it through. Just like during the demonstration, we have a pocket right there. Okay? Now taking my short end, what I want to do is place it inside that pocket. Then go ahead and come around, just like this. Got my long end and my bite, and pull it tight. And there's your bowline right there. Okay, now I tie it around ourselves. Got a short end in my right hand, long end in my left hand. Raise it up to my armpits so I can let go and hold the cordage. Now, what I want to do, let the short end just dangle, grab my long end and just fold it over. So it's a P, alright? Take that loop, I'm going to lay it down and pull my pocket through. Just like that. Now taking my short end, I'm going to pass it through that pocket and then back around the side of my loop. You can see that. I got my bite in my hand right here. When I pinch it, grab my long end, pull it tight. And there's my bowline. Now, the last thing I want to briefly talk about is safety. Now, should you choose to use a bowline for an anchor point around a fixed object like the tree, or use it to raise or lower someone, something, or even yourself, you're going to want to find a way to secure this tail. Now, we talked earlier about how the knot itself will tighten under a load and the loop will not slip. However, once that load's released, you can easily grab your tail and your loop, and you can see how it comes undone. So I'll show you two quick ways to go ahead and secure this tail. Here we have our fixed object. We have our bowline and our tail. So one method to secure the tail is to tie a double overhand knot. And the double overhand knot is just taking your tail and going around the loop once, going around again towards your knot, like so. If you notice, it forms an X. Take your tail, pass it underneath that X, just like that. Now, another way to secure that tail is to simply tie a Yosemite bowline. To do that, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and tie a bowline the exact same way you normally would. Just like this. Now taking your tail, you want to wrap it around your loop once. Then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and follow this one out that hole. So I'm going to go around it once like I did. I'm going to go underneath all of this mess right here. I'm going to pass it up through that hole. You're left with this configuration right here. Now to tighten this, there's a certain order you have to do it. What you want to do is you want to grab your long end and your loop, pull that tight, then grab your short end and your loop and pull it tight. Do it again and again, just like this, and you have Yosemite bowline. Now that tail is locked down inside there. And just like before, if you're extremely paranoid, what you can do, tie a double overhand knot just like before. That's probably almost guaranteed never to go anywhere. And now for the $1 million prize. Tie a bowline around yourself using one hand. Got my short end. What I want to do, go around the outside of my rope, bring it back through, and present the rope. So one more time, around the outside of it, back through across my chest, present the rope. Now my short end and a long vertical end. Now taking my short end, I want to go on the outside of my rope, just like this, bring it back around, pull my hand through that little opening right there, that pocket. Go ahead and pinch that bite together. Now my long end, I'm going to step on it and pull it tight. And there's my bowline. Welcome back. Let's talk about a couple of things here. First off, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's several different types of bowlines and there's several different ways to tie a bowline. We barely even scratch the surface, so don't get caught up on my way, his way, or her way. Next thing is practice makes better. Never perfect, it will always be better. And lastly, safety. Should you use this bowline for a rescue situation for yourself or someone else, make sure it's tied properly and you tie off that tail. Thank you for your comments, views, support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the woods, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.